Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy T Coda. Listen, today we got something special for y'all. We got 4 people, man, that's gonna give you some insight into the culture. Listen, we got the founder of Haircuts for the Homeless, the founder of Rec Philly, Philly's own Roxy Fab, and Brother Craze from Those Baxters. Listen, man, today is gonna be full of wisdom, full of some jewels. So listen, man, let's get into it. It's the culture.
Cool. So this is Will Toms, co-founder of a company called Rec Philly, based here in Philadelphia, and we're helping musicians, creative people, entrepreneurs build their businesses around their art. So,
what's up, everybody? I'm Roxy Fab, and I have a show. It's called The Roxy Fab Show. It's on Live and Direct Radio, and you can get that on liveanddirectmarketplace.com, or you can download the app in your App Store or your Google Play Store, and it's Live and Direct Marketplace. Again, I play your favorite new school and old school R&B, and I also play a little bit of old school hip hop and a little bit of new school, as long as it's telling me a really, really good story. So that's what it is.
What's up, everybody? This is Brother Craze from #Those Baxters, syndicated radio show where we play the best in urban gospel holy hip hop on 48 stations across the country. Yeah.
My name is Brennan B. Jawan Jones, the originator, the creator of the Haircuts for Homeless movement. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Haircut, 4 Homeless, giving back, spreading love. That's what it's all about.
So usually what I ask everybody off the rip is, what are you listening to? So when it comes to hip hop, what do you listen to?
I don't really listen to too much hip hop. Off the top of the head, I like Meek. Of course, I like Jay-Z. But at heart, I'm more of a gospel R&B guy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm more attracted to that
All right.
sound.
Okay, so is there a reason why you're more attracted to the gospel sound or the R&B sound?
I don't know, it's just more appealing to me, and hip hop nowadays has the down south movement and the hype and the Migos and all that stuff. Not discrediting them, that I'm an older soul, so I can't really gravitate to that sound.
Right.
I don't even understand what they be saying half the time, but I'm more settled, so I like something that's a little more settled, that's more straight to the point, without the loudness, the hypeness.
So that makes sense why you say Jay-Z, because he kind of giving it to you where you can understand it, something thought-provoking, something that's relatable. So it makes more sense. So what you listening to right now is the first question, man.
what am I listening to right now? So I can't front. The album that I keep running back to right now is this new SZA John. I'm fucking with the SZA John heavy.
Wow. That's surprising, because everybody usually say 444. So for me to hear something new.
Yeah, I'll get there too. I've definitely been my fair share of going through 444, but the SZA John came up first.
Okay.
Second, especially when we talking knowledge of self, you got to mention 444. Just because Hove just gave us I felt like I was listening to Obama give like the last speech, you know what I mean, or something like that. State of the Union, like Hove just really dropped some gems on us just as people, and how important it is for us to know ourselves, and then love each other and build real legacy. You know what I mean? I think like we're in a crazy space in music where a lot of the artists that are coming up are hating women, hating themselves, preaching depression and escapism.
Yes.
So Hove, I think, urging us all to really take that deeper look in, understand self-awareness, understand, economic intelligence, emotional intelligence, and helping us to just be bigger and better people. That's exactly what we needed right now. So
absolutely, man.
For sure.
Absolutely. All right, man. What's up, Brother Craze?
What's up, baby?
This is the culture.
All right.
So welcome to the culture.
Thank you very much.
The first thing I ask everybody, man, is, what are you listening to right now when it comes to hip hop?
I'm definitely banging that native tongue thing. You know what I'm saying?
Peace, absolutely.
In a spinner. I got people from all over the country, man. I got my brother Tony Tillman from down in Houston.
Okay.
I got my brother Benjamin Broadway. If you like trap gospel hip hop.
Okay.
Like, he from out of Ohio. I got Uncle Reese down in Florida. That's my bro.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of people. Atiba Lassie out of Philly.
Atiba's dope.
Philly got a lot.
Yeah.
Doc Hero, Deuce B, Don C.
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole fam. So And I can't forget my girl Dyrena, because we always play Dyrena because my girls love Dyrena. So yeah, I got a whole.
Normally, the first thing I ask everybody when I first start the Culture episode is, what are you listening to when it comes to hip hop?
Now, are we talking mainstream hip hop?
What sparks your ear? Like, what do you listen to? If you go touch your iTunes right now, what pop up when it comes to hip hop?
I'm probably listening to Schoolie D. I'm an old schooler all day.
Philly.
I love Schoolie. You know, Jesse's a good friend, so I'm usually listening to Schoolie.
Parkside. Parkside.
Always listen to Brand New Funk. Love me some Will Smith and Jeff.
Okay.
I listen to a little bit of Jay. I listen to more Biggie than Jay.
Okay.
And a little bit of Life of Pablo. So it's like a little bit of mixture, I guess, because with me, I have to see what I get from it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Philly wise, no label wise, I'm rocking Del P all day right now.
Absolutely, my man. Shout out to Del.
You know,
Shout out to Del.
Shout out to Del.
I just had him the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, I just said that the other day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I was honored to do an intro on his track.
Yeah.
And they want me to do some more stuff. So that's, I'm it's gotta, that's what I'm doing right now.
So you're perfect for what I'm doing, because you tie into the 5 pillars, especially saying Schoolie D. If you said Schoolie D to somebody that's probably 30 and under, they don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah,
that's funny. I remember when, shout out to Charlie Mack. I remember Charlie Mack brought Yaz to a show that Izzy Ike has, and it's called The Comeback Philly Style. It was probably like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And he was introducing Yaz to Schoolie. And he was like, do you know who this guy is? And Yaz wants to be a rapper.
Right.
And he's like, no, he was like, yo,
he's like one of the godfathers of the city when it comes to hip hop. You got it. He's the birth of West Coast hip hop.
He is the birth of
like
what is it?
Gangster rap.
Gangster rap.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said West Coast, because see, I know my history. Ice-T listened to Schoolie D. So the cadence that Ice-T has on his first cut, his first record, he actually took that cadence from Schoolie.
Yeah.
So, but I that's the part of hip hop that missed for me. Like, I don't mind you doing your new school sound, but know your history. Yeah. And since they don't know their history, they lack some of the illustration or the execution in the music.
Right, and then they have to realize, to me, that if you don't know your history, how do you think you're going to last? You're definitely not going to go down as a legend. There's a lot of these guys out here right now that are just having fun. And they're drawing these kids. They're making a whole lot of money. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, they're going to end up like that little boy, Soldier Boy. They're either locked up,
right?
You know what I mean? Or who's that guy again? When did he come
out? Right.
You're not going to know. You know what I mean? Like you said, you bring up.
Sure. Absolutely. So, with that being said, talk about economic intelligence and talking about pushing the culture forward. For artists like myself and artists that's viewing, how important is branding to who you are as an artist?
Incredibly important. It's pretty much the number 2 thing of importance. First is the product and the music, right? Like, is the art good? And then next is, do people understand it? And if people understand it, or if they don't understand it, that's a product of having good or poor branding. I think a lot of people mix up marketing and branding what the real understanding of it is, but the simplified way is just, if people notice it, it's marketing, right? So how is it that we could take that message that you want to put across in the music and the art and put it in a way where no matter how you're communicating with that person, whether it be verbally or if you're communicating to them just through the way you're dressed, the way you carry yourself, the way you tweet, the way your Instagram feed looks, is that all consistent with the message that you're putting out through the music? So if you create fire art, but then you don't have that consistency like I just explained, you're really just going to confuse the audience. And most people don't have the articulation to be like, to tell you why they don't get it, but they're just going to be like, I don't get it, and they're going to move on to the next person.
Right.
Because right now, it's a million messages being sent at us, and our attention spans are short.
Short, very short.
Yeah, but marketing and branding is what makes sure that people actually understand who you are, what you're about in a brief amount of time, so that way they'll want to dig deeper. They'll want to understand, and then moreover than that, like, they'll get to a point where you don't have to worry whether or not people will know your art. because they'll like it's almost a no-brainer, right? If I say Rihanna, right off rip, you think edgy, you think sexy, you think women empowering, and that's because she's done so much of a great job of making sure that whether the songs and the lyrics that we hear, they're always edgy, sexy, yada yada. The way she posts on Instagram, it's edgy, it's sexy. So now it's like she owns that arena. So I want to urge artists to really be able to dig in, like what makes you you, and how do we communicate that in every way to the artist.
That's one of the things I definitely want to talk to you today about was the reason why you decided to do Haircut for the Homeless. Like, what was your why?
Okay. The why is kind of simple. It's a long story, but you know, all in all, it was just simply me giving back and spreading love using my gift. I mean, my gift in barbering. That's it. Like I did a little research, and you know, I even went out and hit the streets before I got started, and just watched how people interact with the homeless, and it was heartbreaking. You know what I mean? So I just decided to, you know, one day just take my passion in barbering and my passion for people and put it to work. And I didn't expect it. And you know, 6 months ago I wasn't expecting it to be where it is now.
Right.
Reaching people globally, all around the world. I wasn't expecting that, but you know, powered by God.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I think the unity of it, man, is big, man. For you to be selfless is big, man. And I think that's what's missing in our culture today. And when I say the culture, I don't want people to just think it's about hip hop. Yeah. It's really about our culture, man, our community. And you're pouring into that community, and that means a lot. So how big is the unity a part of what we're doing as Men of Christ ingrained in hip hop?
Well, see, the thing about it is we hosted an event this Saturday, and there was another radio host person there, and they was kind of awkward, but I had to make the announcement that it's no competition in Christ.
Right.
It's no competition in Christ. Even though we see competition, you may see a pastor wanting a more bigger church than this pastor, or you may see somebody who sings that want to have a bigger audience than this audience. But really, it's no competition because we brothers and sisters. We got the same Father. Like, why am I gonna compete? The best thing is to come together. If we come together, everything that we want to do. So if you in Philly and my people's down in Texas and Houston, y'all get together, then y'all bridge the gap. Now your Philly audience know who he is, his Houston audience know who you are, and that widens the range. It widens everybody's territory. And the thing is to take over, because you got people like Chance the Rapper. No matter what they say about the young brother, every time he get up there, he only scream one name out of his mouth.
Absolutely.
On any major stage,
Absolutely.
where he at, from the Grammys to the wherever
First
he at.
thing is Jesus Christ.
First thing is Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. You got brothers like Kendrick Lamar. First thing they scream out their mouth is my Lord Jesus Savior. You got brothers like J. Cole. Now we talking about the top dudes, platinum artist dudes. The first thing they screaming out their mouth is Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Come on now.
Being a radio personality, what are you looking for from an artist when they're trying to bring you music or break their music on your station? Like, what are you looking for from an artist?
Most R&B artists, most R&B writers, rather, tell a story. You know what I mean? So that's usually not anything that I have to question. You know, I write, and I always make sure mine tells a story as well. So it's always something about, you know, something that your friends are going through, or something that you're going through, or whatever.
Right.
In reference to hip hop, it's the same. It's got to be a story. If it's just a bunch of things that I can't even decipher, then I can't listen to it. I have so many people who inbox me, you know, or I mean, from LinkedIn to Facebook to Instagram, Twitter, everything, and they're like, you know, hey, can I send you a song? And I'm like, do you tell me a story? You know what I mean? And is it like really raw, explicit, or is it clean?
Right.
You know, and once they let me know, some of them don't get back to me because they already know. Okay, then that
Right.
sends you right out the door.
Right.
But some of them are like, no, it tells a story. It's about this, or my whole CD, you know, goes from this to this and tells the whole story.
Right.
You know, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me listen to it, and then I'll get back to you, because again, I'll let the listeners listen to it. You know what I mean? The people who listen to my show every day, you know, and I'll let them. And then if they say, oh, I'm feeling that, you know what I mean? Bring that back. Then I'll bring that back.
Right,
you know?
absolutely. Just you as a fan of the culture.
Yeah.
Like when you turn on a record, man, like what are you looking for? Like what do you want to hear?
Word. So me personally, man, I believe that the role of an artist is to help people connect to people, right? So I'm looking for people who, first, is there a story here? Is there a message here? And I think like with being an artist and having people pay attention to you, I think there is a responsibility to actually like put positive messaging out there in a way where you're actually helping people. Not to say everything's got to be like peace, love. Like I'm saying, if you got a real story, you could tell a real story, but there's ways to even tell stories about struggle in a way that's still productive.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm looking for that. Like, is what we're going to build and put into the world going to actually push the culture forward?
Yeah.
Or is, you know what I mean?
No pun intended.
Right. Like, is it going to be helpful for people or harmful? So right off rip, like, I'm not trying to back anything that I think is harmful. But then beyond that, it's like, is that self-awareness there? You know what I mean? Does this come from a vulnerable and honest place, and a real place that when people who believe what they believe and people who have experienced what they've experienced, when they hear it, is it going to connect? And if it can do that, then I support it. You know, that's really what I'm looking for, without even getting into like sonics, what it should sound like, and
right.
what that person should look like, or anything like that. Just that.
I always tell my wife, I said, listen, they get the poison every day when they turn on these hip hop stations. Why can't we give them the antidote? And the antidote is brothers like you, the brothers like Chance the Rappers, the brothers like a T. Velocity, the brothers like Big Red down South Carolina, like who doing stuff with Fred Hammond. What we need is to get some of these cats who been doing gospel and who they love in the gospel world, like John P. Key and all these people, to validate. And Kurt Franklin, who signed a hip hop artist, who hip hop album did very well. The song was on commercials, it was on Ballers, on HBO, it was on the ESPY Awards. So
wow.
You got brothers like Christian Grey, who just, all he want to do is God's work. And if you listen to his album, it's nothing but the Holy Spirit. And once the church
embraces it, and
say, you know what, you my child.
Yep.
Because right now we feel like a stepchild on both ends.
I try and tell a lot of people too, you've got to get the kids. You've got to get, I'm gonna go there. You've got to get the kids. You've got to get the gays. You've got to. It's a level to all of this. And if you can get, you know, when you're an R&B guy, if you can get the little girls, you know, mommy, oh my God, I love him. You can get the little girls, and then you get the gays. Then you, and you have to, and then people are like, what? But you gotta, the LGBT community is huge. You may not like it, but it's here and it's real and it's not going to.
You gotta address it.
You gotta address
it.
And they buy music too, like
absolutely.
Everybody else does. You know what I mean? They party like everybody else does. You know, they got clubs like everybody else does. So you want your music to be all over the place.
Right.
And then just to add a little bit more, it's like, do you understand that there's an audience that can be built around that art or not? And then do you understand what your value is to those people? Because I think too often people don't even realize, like, as an artist, there's fans and they want a very specific thing from you as an artist. And if you don't understand what that value exchange is, you'll never be successful. You have to understand it. Like, Drake knows that he got people like me that fuck with his music for a certain thing, and my sister also likes Drake and she wants a very different thing from him. So his team has to be smart enough to understand what each of those value exchanges are and then be able to double down. So we'll give him the money that he wants in exchange for, you know, whatever it is.
You are dropping knowledge right now. I'm about to give you a couple snaps real quick. Brother Craze, I appreciate you, man,
no problem,
for
baby.
talking to the culture, man.
You know the culture. I love it.
Absolutely.
That's all I live. I breathe. I eat, sleep. Culture.
Absolutely, man. Look, shout out those Baxters.
Shout out to the culture. Shout out to T. Coda. My name is Roxy Fab. Again, I'm from the Roxy Fab Show. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Live and Direct Radio. You can find me at liveindirectmarketplace.com, or you can download the app in your App Store or your Google Play Store. Again, the app is Live and Direct Marketplace. The culture.
The culture.
Haircuts for Homeless, B. Jawan Jones, So Raw. Shout out to the culture.
This is the culture, man. Thank you.
Again, this is Will of Rec Philly. We here in Philadelphia, and we trying to really push the culture forward, man. We trying to help people build businesses around the art. Let's be sustainable. If we want to move forward in this capitalist society, we got to have some damn capital. So let's do that. So this is Will. We with the culture right here, man. T-Code, I appreciate you. Yeah.
What's up, people? Hopefully you enjoyed yourself today. Thank you for tuning into the culture. Listen, if you want more substance like this, You want more content like this? Inbox me right now. DM me right now. I'll come to where you are to give you the culture. Listen, y'all, I'm trying to make a push. I'm trying to get 1,000 people. So please subscribe. Please share. Let people know what's going on in the culture.